morning everyone. So we've got another workshop now, and this one I've set up really with golfers in mind, or tennis players, or anyone doing a sport involving the rotation of the body. And so a lot of these exercises will be focused on the trunk and that sort of movement. So assuming that you've done a warm-up, however you wish to do that, we're going to get yourself down onto the floor. Okay, so we're going to start with our mermaid movement. You can cross your legs in this position if you like, or go into your mermaid sitting position. So we want to try and get that pelvis in neutral, sitting up nice and tall, thinking about those ribs staying nice and soft there. Okay, I'm going to sit with my legs crossed, so just to make it a little bit harder on these exercises. So you're welcome to sit like this or in your mermaid position. So think about that postural setup. Relax through the shoulders, nice and long through the neck. Pelvis, pelvic floor drawn up there. Okay, so let's start with some movement around the shoulder girdle, pointing those palms up towards the ceiling. We're going to breathe into the lower part of those lungs, and as we breathe out, we're just going to open up those shoulders into that dumbwaiter movement there. Breath in and breathing out. So just a sort of gentle way to start through here and back in. Breath in, breath out, and back in. Breath in, breath out, and back in. Taking that breath in, breath out, back in. And this time we're going to open up into that Cleopatra, so into the dumbwaiter, stretching those arms out, turning the arms over, back in again. So just moving around that shoulder joint, getting used to being in this sitting position there. Keeping that pelvic floor drawn up, the ribs stay soft, shoulder blades stay melted. And back in. Excellent. So we're going to go into that mermaid movement now. So we're going to stretch those arms out. And what I want you to do is bring that arm down towards the floor. So keeping that pelvis down there, the bottom there, so it depends on the movement that you've got. And we're going to bring that arm over the top, and we're just going to glide that arm past your ear, thinking about that ribs, the movement over here, getting that lateral flexion. Breath in, breath out, coming back to the center there. And down with the elbow. Now if you've chosen to do the mermaid sitting position, just keep going down to the same side. Do a couple of those, and then you can go back and do the other side. Breathing out, stretch that arm over. Breath in, breath out, back to the center. And down to the side there, bring that arm over. Breath in, breath out, stretch that arm. Now I'm going to stay here, so thinking about keeping that bottom down on that side. I'm just going to bring that hand onto the back of the head, and we're going to rotate that body, so thinking about that torch that you've got shining out the front of your chest here, and opening up, breathing out. So we're not extending, we just want to rotate forward. Breath in, breath out, and bringing that chest facing to the front. Okay? Breath in, breath out, coming forward. Keeping the elbow nice and wide, so we don't really want to be wrapping that arm around in front of your face. Breath out. And open up. Breath in, breath out. So you can take a breath in here too. Breath in, breath out. And stretch that arm over the top and up, and then coming down to the other side. So you can repeat this onto one side if you are sitting in your mermaid straight. Stretching that arm, pop the hand behind the head there. Think about that torch, and we're bringing that torch facing down towards the ground and facing forwards. Breath out. Little breath in, breath out. Open up that arm. Open up the chest. Breath out. Little breath in, breath out, open up. One more time. Breath in, breath out. Breath in and breath out. And coming back to the center there and relax down. So you can practice those a few more times if you wish, and then move on to the next exercise there. So we're going to come forward now onto those, resting your bottom onto your heels there, so sitting on your knees in this position. Okay, so I've got my mat rolled up really tight, so you can either have a towel, a big towel wrapped up really tight into a roll, or you can use a rolling pin if you like, or I've also got just a plastic folder here that you can slide on the ground there. Okay, with a foam roller you're going to have more extension, so we're going to work a little bit on that shoulder extension. So sitting there, long through the neck, and we're going to bring that chest down to the floor. So I'm going to use this little piece of paper just to demonstrate how easy it is really to slide on the carpet. You can use a plastic bag, works well as just as well. Okay, so starting in this position here, we want to draw those ribs down. We're going to find that neutral position through the spine, pelvic floor drawn up. Resting those hands on your paper or your roll, and we're going to draw the shoulder blades down long through the neck. And we're just going to rest that chest on the legs there. Okay, taking your breath in, breathing out. We're going to slide that piece of paper away, getting lovely extension through the shoulder there. You're in control, so you take it to where you feel. Then we're going to draw those shoulder blades down, keeping the chest on the knees there, on the thighs, breathing out. Nice and long through the neck. Breath in, breath out. Take that breath in, breathing out. Little breath in, breath out. Lifting down, so bringing the chest off slightly, drawing the shoulder blades down towards the ground. My tummy's sun touch with the knees. Breath in, breath out. And again. Breath in, breath out. So we're going to take that a bit further now. So we're going to draw those shoulder blades down, and we're going to push up through the legs into that cat stretch. So we're actually lifting off the knees this time, coming down, gliding those hands away. Breath in, breath out, drawing the shoulder blades down. So the starting with that same movement, push through the legs into that cat stretch. Coming down, reaching out there. Breath in, breath out, drawing the shoulder blades down, up into that cat stretch. Pushing through those legs. Coming down again, sliding those hands forward. One more time, draw the shoulder blades down. Think about the pelvic floor, pushing up through the knees, into that cat stretch. Breath in, breath out, reaching away there. Excellent job. Lovely. And we can bring those arms down to the side, and we're just going to rest that head on the floor. Take the weight away from that shoulder, from the shoulders. Lovely. Alright, so we're going to come up onto our hands and knees this time. So we've had a bit of mobility through there. We're going to start with some strengthening as well. So think about that neutral position of your spine, drawing that pelvic floor up, shoulder blades are melted, T-tray on that back, nice and long through the neck. And we're going to do our swimming level 4, but to start with, we're just going to get into the movement there, gliding that leg behind you. So tighten up the bottom muscles, reaching that leg away, coming in. Breath in, breath out. Glide that leg away. Just alternating sides there. Think about the tray of drinks on the back. Tightening up those bottom muscles and back in. And again, tighten up those bottom muscles and back in. Now we're going to combine the arm and the leg movement. So if you feel you can't do that, you can either just do the arm or the leg, and you can practice that one at a time. So we're going to reach the arm and the leg away, tightening up through those muscles, watching that tray of drinks coming back in. Let's go on the same side now. Reaching that arm and leg away, and back in. And again, think about the tray of drinks, reaching the arm and leg away. If you can't lift the leg off the floor without losing your balance, just keep it on the ground. And let's go one more time. Keeping nice and strong through there. And change over to the other side. Reaching the arm and leg away. Tighten up those tummy muscles, tighten up the glutes. And back in. Shoulder blades stay nice and melted. The neck is nice and long as well. Don't drop the head through. Breath out. Little breath in. Breath out, coming down. One more time. And down. We're going to switch to the other side again. This time, reaching the arm and leg away. And I want you to bring the elbow towards the knee. So here we're getting a bit of flexion with that rotation there, tiny bit. Reaching out, coming back in. Back in. Breathing out. Breath in. I'm going to do one more, but for you, you can do a few more if you like, as long as you are maintaining your neutral position. Coming off. Now we're going to swap to the other side. Take that breath in, breath out. We're going to glide the hand and the leg away from each other there, holding that neutral position, back in. Breathing out as you extend, staying nice and strong through those shoulders, but we want to keep the shoulder blades melted. If you can, keeping slightly soft at the elbow. Breathing out as you reach, tighten up those bottom muscles. Think about reaching, so it's that swimming level 4 with an adjustment here. One more. And stretch. And rest down and just take yourself off your forearm, off your hands there a little bit. Take the weight off there. Just rotate through the wrists. Okay? So I'll just show you a modification on this. If you're unable to lie on your knees there, we can bring yourself onto the ground for that swimming position. So we're just going to tighten up those tummy muscles there, drawing the pelvic floor up, stretching the arms out. And you can do your swimming level 4, reaching the arm and leg away. And reaching that arm and leg away. So you can do that as a modification if you're unable to kneel. Okay, coming on to those knees again with the hands just underneath the shoulders there. We're going to do our leg pull in prone prep. So think about that pelvic floor again, nice and long through the neck, relax through the shoulders. If you have problems with the joints in the foot or the ankle there, and you can't push up through those through the feet, I want you just to feel what it feels like to push those shins into the floor. So that's what you can do there for this leg pulling prone prep, just pushing those shins into the floor. I'm going to do leg pulling prone prep with my toes just curling underneath me there. Taking that breath in, breath out, and we're going to hover off the floor. Breathing out, breath in, and breath out, come back down. So we're just hovering the knees off the ground there. Drawing that pelvic floor in, breath in, breath out. Hover off the ground, breath in, breath out, come down. Now I'm going to modify this slightly just to build up the endurance of those muscles around the tummy there. And I'm going to do 2 breath cycles holding the leg pull in prone position. So I'm going to breathe in, I'm going to breathe out, I'm going to hover off the ground. And then I'm going to take another breath in, and I'm going to breathe out, and then I'm going to lower myself down to the floor. So if you can't hold it for 2 breath cycles, just go up for a breath cycle and down. So we do that again. Breath in, breath out, hovering those knees off the floor, drawing that pelvic floor up, breathing out, breath in, and I'm going to breathe out again. And then I'm coming down. So it's like a modified plank, and we're not holding it for any time at all. We just want to build up the endurance there. Let's do that one more time. Breath in, breath out, hover, draw that breath in again, and breathe out, and lower to the floor. Okay, and one more time now. Breath in, breath out. Taking that breath in, breathing out, breath in, and out. And come out of that position again there. So you can do all of those the same, using that breath cycle, but just pushing through the knees and doing 2 breath cycles while you're holding the tension on the tummy muscles there. All right, coming down onto our side now, a little bit more on that core stability. So think about this side bend position. We want to maintain that neutral position and our postural setup. So I always think about my nose and the chest and my belly button in a straight line. The elbow is just underneath or slightly out on the shoulder there, if you like. The feet, the knees are slightly to the front. So with a side bend, we want to just find that neutral position, draw down through the tummy muscles, squeeze the knees together and the bottom muscles, and we're going to bring the pelvis off the floor. So we're going to lift off through the ground there, and we're going to bring that arm over. Take a breath in, breath out, bring that arm down as you bring the pelvis down. Keeping that center engaged, watching that diagonal line. Draw down through the pelvis, squeezing those bottom muscles together, squeezing the feet together. We're going to bring that pelvis off the floor, and we're going to lift up through there. Breath in and breath out as you lower yourself down. So if you don't want to load that spine with the extra flexion there, all I'm going to get you to do is to lift into that side bend position, but without the extra bend, okay? And down. So that's the modification. If you find this is hard enough for you as it is, just bringing that yourself into that neutral position is good enough. You're in control of the exercise, so that's the modification. Just getting yourself nice and strong through the center in that position, hold, and then come back down. I want you to try a couple more if you are able to. We're going to go, as you lift, we're going to bring that arm over, stretch, increase, tighten up those knees, tighten up the bottom muscles, and back down. One more. Tighten up the knees and the bottom there. And back down. Excellent. Right, let's go onto the floor now for our breaststroke prep. So we're going to pop that cushion just under the head there, bringing your arms down at your sides. Our breaststroke prep, you're moving through the shoulder joint there. We're going to reach those arms down towards your feet, and we're going to draw those shoulder blades back. Breath in, breath out, and relax. We're just starting the movement, building ourselves up for our breaststroke level 3. Reach down through the shoulders, bring those arms round, breath in, breath out, and rest. Take a breath in, breath out. Reach those arms nice and long, draw the shoulder blades back, and down. Let's go for that little lift now. So we're going to reach those arms down, and we're going to bring that chest off the floor slightly. Breath in, breath out, bring the chest down, and bring the arms, shoulders back down to the floor. Breath in, breath out, draw the shoulder blades down, and then we're going to reach down towards your feet, lifting that chest off the floor slightly. Breath in, breath out. Watching my head, so I'm keeping nice and long through that neck. Let's do this one more time. Reaching those hands towards your feet, drawing the shoulder blades down, and we're going to lift that chest off the floor. Breath in, breath out. Keeping those ribs down towards the pelvis. We don't want to push your tummy into the floor. We want to maintain that neutral position. If lying on your tummy is quite hard, you can pop that little cushion underneath there. You shouldn't feel this in your lower back. We're just working on the strength through the upper back there and through the shoulders. So let's build ourselves up now. So if that's hard enough for you, I would encourage you to stick to that breaststroke prep and the breaststroke level 1. I'm going to move on just to a bit more of a progression there. So we're going to pop those hands just underneath your head there. So relax through the shoulders. I'm going to do our breaststroke level 2 here. We're going to lift that head and the chest off the floor, and we're going to reach those arms forward. We're going to bring it back in and down. Now, if you want to practice just lifting that head and the chest off the floor, that's great. Breath in, breath out. I'm going to go up, breathing out, coming up. I'm going to stretch those arms forward, bring them back in and down, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. I'm going to take my breath in, I'm going to breathe out, lift the chest off the floor, stretch, breath in, breath out, and down. This time I'm going to move on to the next one. So we're going to lift that chest off the floor, stretch. You're going to bring those arms down to your side, reaching towards the legs, and relax. So this is where we get that shoulder movement really necessary for our sport. So resting the head on the hands there, drawing the shoulder blades down. Breath in, breath out, lifting the chest off the floor. Little breath in, breath out. Reach and down. Shoulders stay away from the ears. Bring the arms back up. Breath in, breath out. Lifting that chest off the floor. Reach and come round and down. Bringing the hands underneath the head again. One more time. Breath in, breath out. Lifting the head, the chest and the head off the floor there. Reaching forwards with those arms. Bringing the hands round to the side and down. And relax. Excellent. So let's come out, just stretch into that child's pose position there again. Take a nice breath in and out. So always bearing in mind that you can do more of the repetitions if you like, but also just keep an eye on your postural setup. If you start to feel it anywhere, it's always better to take a rest and start again. Right, into our side bend on the other side now. So feet and the back just in that straight line, knees are to the front, and think about that line. We've got the nose, chest, belly button. Elbows just underneath the shoulder or slightly out there. So as a starting point, you can just get that movement to get yourself lined up, feel how that feels. If that's a challenge enough for you, I would encourage you just to practice there, maybe take a breath in and out and then relax off again. Okay, we're going to get ourselves off the floor. So we're going to take that breath in, we're going to squeeze those bottom muscles, squeeze the knees together, and we're going to lift the hips and the pelvis off the floor, and we're going to stretch out there into that side bend. Breath in, breath out, bring the hips towards the floor as you take your hand down. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Now always come back to your start point. Watch that neck and that chest and the belly button. I can just see that I've lost myself there a little bit. Breath in, breath out. raising up through there, nice and strong through the shoulders, and down. Find that neutral position, breath in, breath out, raising off, breath in, breath out. Squeezing those knees together, tightening up those bottom muscles. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Excellent job. Okay, a few more exercises left. We're going to work on extension and rotation this time. So I'm going to just turn myself slightly to the side there. We're sitting back down onto those knees, and we're just opening up the legs a little bit wider there. I'm going to bring my forearms towards the floor, and we're just going to rest in this position now. Okay, so with this exercise we are engaging with the floor there, so you want to get nice and strong through that shoulder. We're going to bring the right hand onto the right leg there. We're just going to do a few practices here. We're going to open up that chest, and you can push through this leg a little bit, so just to help you out there, just to get that rotation at first, and then come down. Take that breath in, breath out, and we're just opening up that chest. Breath in, breath out, come down. So always engaging that pelvis, the pelvic floor, ribs stay soft. Let's swap over to the other side. So nice and strong through that shoulder, hand resting on the leg there. We're going to help ourselves across, just rotating and down. Breath in, breath out, and down. So you can go with that a few more times if you like. This time we're coming back around to the right hand side, and you're going to pop that right hand just like you're sort of saluting there with that arm, and we're going to use those back muscles to rotate and extend out there. Breath in, breath out, come down. Breath in, breath out, coming up, extend. Stay sitting down through those heels there, onto the heels. Breath in, breath out. Using that floor to prop yourself with that left arm as you go, and down. Ribs stay soft. Couple more. Breath in, breath out, rotate, and down. One more. And down. Swapping over to the other side now. So engaging with the floor there through that forearm and the shoulder. Left hand just resting on the forehead with the back of the hand. Breath in, breath out, extending and rotating. Breath in, breath out, come down. Breath in and breathing out. Always bearing in mind that you work within your own limit. So you take it to where you feel comfortable. And out. Couple more. Breath in. Use that floor to keep yourself nicely propped through that right shoulder if you're struggling. Just make sure that you can actually take the weight through that shoulder. Breath in and breath out. Excellent. So from here we're going to reverse ourselves up into our standing position for a few more exercises there. So just rolling back up into our standing position. Okay, so I'm going to get you to bring one foot in front of the other, and we're just going to try some lunges here. Okay, so standing up nice and tall, got one foot in front of the other, we're going to bend both those knees, coming down and coming up. So initially you might want to just feel your way through that. Feel how it feels on the back of the calves, so you're taking it to where you feel comfortable, and then you can move that leg further back and then go deeper down into that split lunge there and coming up. This is really important now. We're working on the strength of the legs and we're working on the strength of the glutes. We know how important those glutes are, how important the stability is around the pelvis. We're going to drop down again and coming up. If you need help with a wall, you can always just have something close by if you feel like you're losing your balance. Drop down and up, making sure that that knee stays pointing forwards. As you're going down, it's not coming over the front of the toe. Keeping that pelvis tucked in, soft ribs, nice and long through the neck. And we're going to do one more. So again, you can work up to 10 reps there or see how you feel. We're going to swap over with the legs. Taking that other foot back now. Have a few practices just to get that flexibility in the ankle and the calf muscle there. Keeping that pelvis facing forwards. Excellent. And I'm going to move my foot a bit further back now. I feel more comfortable on the back of the heel. And we're coming down towards the floor, pushing up. Nice strengthening for those glutes in that split level position, so we're challenging that balance as well. You work within your own limit there. If you can't lunge down that far, that's absolutely fine. You can always work towards it. Staying out nice and tall, watching that neutral position there. I'm going to do one more. And up. Excellent. So the next exercise is thinking about that pelvis and rotation. So I'll face forward here, demonstrate this exercise. You can either come down, if you can kneel onto that knee, or you could pop a cushion underneath it if you feel uncomfortable kneeling on one leg, or you can come up into the split stand position. Keeping those shoulders relaxed, keeping the pelvis underneath you in that neutral position. So I'll face forward. I'm going to come down into a lunge position there. So with this one, we're going to rotate through the upper body. The pelvis stays still. Our rotation's coming from the upper back. And you can use a prop, which I will do here. That knee points forwards, tucking that bottom in, keeping that pelvic floor drawn up. Shoulders stay away from the ears. And we're going to practice rotation. So we're going to turn, and we're going to come to the front, and then I want you to turn. Take that breath in, breath out. Shoulder blades stay relaxed. Breath in, breath out. Staying up nice and tall. Be careful that you're not dropping your bottom back. What I mean by that is if you can't rotate, you don't want to be dropping your bottom back. Keep that pelvis in neutral, stacked up underneath your shoulders. So from the side view there, you're going to rotate. You might feel that stretch down that side a bit more, and rotate. Keeping that pelvis pointing forwards. Then, excellent. Swapping over, so I'll show it from the front again. Pelvis facing forward, knee facing forward there. Arms out in front of you. Tucking that pelvis in, keeping that neutral position. We're going to breathe in. And we're going to breathe out, moving to the side. Watch those shoulders. Take the breath in. Relax through the shoulders. And again, work within your own limit. So rotate to where you feel you can move, but you're keeping everything else in line. So from the side, just pointing out that you don't want to be dropping your bottom back there, staying tucked in through there. So think about the neutral position and rotate. Excellent. Okay. So coming up onto your feet again for our last exercise. Hamstrings are really important to keep the length and the strength of those. So I'm demonstrating this exercise as a single leg and not holding onto the wall, but you can hold onto the wall if you feel you're really unbalanced, or just to get the movement first. So thinking about that tennis like golf position there where you're hinging at the hips, this is what we've got in mind. So you want to keep that hinge position nice straight back, nice long through the neck. Shifting your weight onto that left or the right leg, and we're going to draw that belly button in, draw the pelvic floor up, and we're going to move with those hands just down the front there, bringing that leg up behind. So this is for the hamstrings and the hamstring length coming up. So look at that hinge there, got a straight back, just letting that leg float up behind and back up. Breath in, breath out. Hinging there, straight through the back, nice and long through the neck. And back up. And again, breath in, breath out. One more. Excellent. Swapping to the other side now. Softening at the knees, hinging through there. And we're going to let those arms drop. We're just lifting that leg behind. So like I said, you can use your hand against the wall there if you need just that little bit of support. And back. Or holding onto a chair in front if you like. Keep the neck nice and long, relax through the shoulders. And back up. One more. Lifting that leg, so you really want to reach that leg behind you. Reach that leg behind you. It's not really lifting, it's reaching behind you. And back. I'll say that one more time. So as you're hinging forward there, you want to reach that leg. Tighten up those bottom muscles. Keep in that neutral position. And back up. Alright, excellent. And that completes that sequence of those exercises for you today. Okay, enjoy.